Babes Behind the Beats with Jess Bowen and Bowie Jane.
What's up, everyone? It's Jess Bowen and Bowie Jane here on Babes Behind the Beats, and I'm so excited because today we finally got Devin from Honey Revenge in the studio.
Hello. I know, I'm so excited to finally make it out. I'm glad this worked out, man.
We've been trying to get this to happen now for months.
So many months.
So many months. And then we ran into each other when we were young this past weekend, and I was just like, we're making it happen this week when we get home.
No, I was like, well, I'll see her there. We'll figure it out.
No, I love it. I love it. And I love your band. You guys are amazing, and I feel like we gotta get to know you.
We're playing a show together next month.
And we're playing a show. That's right, everyone. If you live in LA, this is your PSA. We are playing a show in LA together, the Somerset and Honey Revenge at Dirty Fest in LA. Okay, that is on the
November 16th at Catch One.
November 16th at Catch One. She got it. You got it. Thank you for
bada
saving
bing,
me
bada
for that
boom.
one.
That
sounds fun. But yeah, I love your band. I'm so excited that we finally get to play a show together.
I know. It feels like we always are like ships in the night. You know?
Yes.
Because you also, your lovely merch manager is one of my favorite people, my best friend, Renee.
So Renee, who tours with us and is our amazing merch manager, is one of your great friends. And I remember she was always talking about you while we were on, because our tours were at the same time, but I don't think I had met you yet. We were doing Sad Summer and you were doing the Summer School. Mm-hmm. And so she was talking about Devin this, Devin that. And I'm just like, who is this Devin?
I know. And then she came and saw us in Worcester because your guys' tour finished, and she stayed in Boston with her family.
Yes.
And she came to our show, and I was like, dang, we really
are ships in the night. We really were.
It's beautiful, and poetic, and tragic.
I know. All at once. But yeah, so I guess before we get into actual Honey Revenge itself, I kind of want to know about you. We like to focus on the artiste and how you got to, how did you like music? How did you fall in love with music? When did you know that this is something you wanted to do?
I mean, I kind of feel like it was just, I don't remember a time I didn't want to do music.
Yeah.
I was lucky to be born into a creative family. My mom was a professional ballerina.
Oh my God.
My dad actually moved to California from Chicago to be an actor. They met at an industry volleyball league, beach volleyball.
Cool. That's awesome.
Just very casual. So I was very supported from a young age. I think, every kid has that time where they want to be a veterinarian, race car driver, whatever. But I think I had
astronaut.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. But I think I just knew from a very young age, I loved singing, and nothing really was something, there was nothing else I was passionate about like I was about singing.
Yeah.
And I feel like once I hit puberty, it just got crazy because I was just falling in love with these bands and these different styles of music that I was being exposed to for the first time, which I feel like this genre, specifically the pop rock kind of warped umbrella of music, you kind of find it at a certain time in your life and then it just sticks with you.
Totally.
Because it's your emotional, everything is going, woo, your hormones are just all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like I was hormonally just attached to this kind of music.
That's an amazing way to put it.
Yeah.
Hormonally attached.
Yeah. It's like, when people start sleeping together and you can smell their pheromones.
Yes. Yes.
It's that's all I cared about. Eat, breathe, sleep. Wow. Shows, and I was in choir from a young age, but
I was gonna ask if you had done anything in school, if you did band or choir or theater. Did you do any of that stuff?
Mm-hmm. I was in very serious show choir and classical choir. My senior year, I had 5 periods total, and 3 of them were choir.
Oh my God!
I was TAing for the choir I didn't make it into. I was in the advanced women's choir. I was president of the mixed choir.
Oh my gosh!
And then I would just go on my bathroom breaks to watch the other choirs.
Yeah.
I just it was my whole social circle. I feel outcasts kind of go into a theater or a band or a choir. And so I was in it from 7th grade till senior year, and we would compete. We'd wear the sparkly dresses. We would do the choreography in all the different languages. In the classical, we'd compete. So it was really, really cool. Yeah, and very competitive, and I think that helps give you an edge in the music industry.
Oh, it's so true.
I think that's very true because it is something that you just have to keep
at.
Everyone keeps saying what's your advice, and I feel I'm sure you probably think the same thing. You just got to keep hammering at
You just
it.
have to love it.
And you have to love it. You
Yeah.
have to love it and really want it and be persistent
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, you can only keep doing that if you love it, I think.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you don't love it, you're just like, nah,
What's the point?
why am I being,
Well, it's so much work and it's so
Yep.
much sacrifice
yeah.
that it's like if you don't love it, you're basically pouring yourself into something crazy for no return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to really like cherish it.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, I took voice lessons from like 12 years old
Wow.
until I still take them from time to time, just
Yeah.
when I'm like feeling like I want to have an ego death. And
An ego death.
yeah, I say the best voice lessons are an ego death. Like you have them, you go in and they're like, no, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong. This sounds like shit. Like, you know what
You're
I mean?
like, damn. You just get like put in
Cool,
your...
humbling. It's a humbling
Humbling,
experience. I think
100%.
those are the best voice lessons.
Oh my God.
So your voice lessons when you were 12, were they all classical or you did some pop as well?
So he was actually in the original Cats the musical.
Oh.
He was like a professional opera singer. He passed away not too long ago. His name's Calvin Remsburg. Shout out Calvin. But yeah, my mom trained with him so she was a ballerina, like I said, but she kind of grew up in the era of triple threats. So you have to be able to do more than one thing because you're just going to get more jobs that way. Like she was a dancer, but if you could sing, you could have more roles type beat. And so she studied with Calvin when she was, I think, my age now, maybe a little younger. And she just heard me absolutely screaming Paramore at the top of my lungs and was like, you're going to blow out your vocal cords. And if you actually want to do this, I'm not going to face the consequences of you damaging your voice.
No, but that's great at a young age. She was
Yeah.
already, because people do that. They don't know how to
Yeah.
sing, and you could just, you wouldn't have this career right now at this age.
Oh, and I'm like so die hard for vocal technique and vocal health. Like it's such a big part of my life because I have a very raspy voice. Like we had very different voices to me and my mom. She's very like second soprano, very like Broadway.
Okay.
And I'm very like raspy rock, alto-y. Like if you know anything about like, I know this is some of this lingo, alto is like a lower range, second's like a middle range. So
I love your voice. I think your voice is so
you're
great.
so sweet. But yeah, so I think I just knew that my voice being raspy like it is was going to be prone to it changes with the weather, like at the drop of a hat, you know. So I just learned how to take care of it. And I'm not perfect. Long night out, like anything, going to this festival this weekend we went to when we were young.
Yep.
And
Did you lose your voice after that?
I didn't lose it, but I did plan on like recording some stuff when I came home, and I think I might wait till next week.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm
yeah.
like, it's just not gonna sound that good.
Right. Yeah. Well, so did you go to Musicians Institute
Yes,
then?
I did. That
Good.
is kind of when the whole band thing, because I always wanted to be in a band. I actually, if you guys know the band Broadside,
Yes.
who we love, those are our boys. I always tell this really funny story, but I was like obviously a super fan of all these bands, which is crazy because I was so lucky to be invited to sing on their record last year. Like now they're like good friends of ours. But when I was going to like Warped Tour growing up, I remember so distinctly going up to Ollie from Broadside and being like, I'm going to be in a band one day, but nobody wants to be in a band with me right now because I have a vagina. And like feeling like no one wanted a girl in their band.
Yeah.
And so I didn't really get the chance to be in a legitimate actual like group like that until I went to MI in Hollywood.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so tell us about that experience then. You met your band.
Yeah,
there.
pretty much. So I was fresh out of high school and I didn't really have a ton of guidance. I was really into music, but not into anything else. And I was terrible in school. And I remember just spiraling like, I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know what I'm going to do. I had no plans for graduation. I didn't know anything. I was thinking maybe a community college. I was born in LA, moved to Thousand Oaks. So I was like, I want to get back into the city, out of the suburbs. And I was just like on MI's emailing list. And they were like, hey, do you want to come do a tour? And I was like, I don't know who this is, what this is. So I go, and it just ended up working out. I auditioned and was enrolled. I started in October of 2016.
Okay.
And yeah, I went for vocal performance and songwriting was my associate's degree technically.
Nice.
And I did that. And then at the end of that course, it's like 18 months. I took a quarter off here and there. I switched to their independent artist program, which was learning how to market yourself and learning how to, run a website, learning about branding and all that jazz. So you
That's
don't
so
need.
useful.
It
as
was, yeah.
independent art, literally as an independent artist, like to learn all of that.
100%. Like I think the vocal program for me was really great because I knew I had that stage presence in me, but I would get freaked out moving my hands above my sides. And like you learn to count in a band. Just they kind of throw you into it and you get to make all your mistakes in school.
Yeah.
Rather than go
on
out into the
stage.
scene. Like you learn just like musician etiquette, like you stay for the other bands you're playing with, you know what I mean?
Wow,
Like,
that's good.
just like you're taught by other touring and professional studio musicians.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So,
I mean, I knew MI was great, but I didn't know it was to even that extent of like they teach you even etiquette stuff. Because I always was like, when me and Bowie talk about things, it is always the like, you just got to do the thing. Like if you just do it, then you'll learn. Like the more years you have of experience in it, like the more you'll learn. But you're getting that experience in that school.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing I can say about MI is it was you get what you give kind of situation. Like it's really cool because you get to meet a lot of cool people. Everyone for the most part is international. Like it's a larger international student population because you know, everyone wants to move to Hollywood,
move to LA and do the thing. Yeah.
Yep. So it's really cool. You get to like immerse in all sorts of different cultures too. You meet all sorts of people I probably would have never met otherwise. And yeah, you learn actually, one of my teachers was Marco from Sugar Cult.
Oh, no way, you had Marco as a teacher?
Yeah.
He's lovely.
He's so sweet. So that was, my old project. We were called Forever Emerald. It was like a little pop punk kind of thing. And I met my bass player, Tay. They play for us now as like a touring bass player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was me and Tay and a few other people. And, you know, it was the perfect like trial run band. I learned what it was to be DIY. I booked my whole first tour by myself. All the bands, all the venues, all the routing. I found us all the places to stay. Like,
wow, and did they guide you through that a bit at?
No, that was just pure,
I was like, wow.
I learned a lot about social media. I took like a YouTube class. I took just general socials class about like feeds and like analytics and how to pay attention to that sort of stuff. Because at the end of the day, I think the biggest reason people, in my opinion, kind of phase out of the music industry is they don't want to look at it like a business, like as much as it is a passion thing and a creative thing. If you're not, how do you ever expect to like grow if you're not going to do something that people want to consume outside of just listening to it? Like my favorite bands, I didn't just want to listen to them. I wanted to watch them.
Yeah.
I wanted to learn about them. I wanted to see their interviews. I wanted to dress like how they did. Like that's where I feel like influencer culture is way further back than when it actually had a name, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so I learned a lot about that, and that's kind of where that old band started, but I've maintained a lot of those connections. A lot of my closest friends are still from MI.
Wow. And that makes a lot of sense because your social media presence is, if I must say so, it is so good.
Thank you.
I'm just like, and so are you running that yourself
All the
still?
socials.
You're still doing it. Okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know if you know, at some point you were trying to hire like someone else to be in
I
in
think
charge.
one day I'll have to remove control. I'm such a control freak, and it's like anytime I let someone else do it, it doesn't get done quick enough the way I want it to.
Yeah.
It's not worded the way I want to. The feed, I'm so like particular about our feed. Like I know nobody's looking at that anymore. No one goes to the profile and like really looks at the symmetric
Like an aesthetic of it too, like, or something.
But I'm so into that. I love the color coding of everything. And
yeah.
But yeah, like people are always like, oh, I don't know who's running your social media. I'm a fan. I was commenting. I was like, that was me.
Yeah.
I answer every DM I can, every comment. I'm running the TikTok, the Twitter, the Instagram, the Facebook, the
All of it.
Depop. I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, it's a pain in the ass, but I think it
is.
pays off. I think this band wouldn't be what it was if we hadn't reached the people that we have through social media. It's a gift and a curse.
No,
sometimes.
100%. I agree. I mean, that was back in this is again showing my age. I would do that on MySpace when our band came out. It was on MySpace having to answer every single comment, every little message, going on, adding everyone that you could add. I mean, it was like that similar type of, you know,
adding
strategy.
Facebook strangers, like adding everyone who looks like they're in a band.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just because you never know. I think also another thing I've just learned from school, from life, from touring is just networking. So much of the music industry is being liked, and not in like a popularity sense, but just who you are as a person. Do people want you around? Like I think every tour we've done, for the most part, has been because people just fuck with us.
Yeah.
And they think we're fun and we're nice people.
It's important.
It is very important.
You know, touring is strenuous. Like, you don't want to put yourself on the road for 6+ weeks with someone that you think is super annoying and doesn't align with your personality. Like
100%. It's a lot of the networking and being authentic and likable, you know? So let's talk about how you met your whole band there, but then you're not in a band with those people anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was kind of, I think the pandemic and lockdown really left a big hole in everyone's lives in a certain sense.
Right.
It was just one of those things where I think everyone was already at a place in that old project where we were kind of growing pains, whatever. We were like 19 when we started the band, and it had been a few years at that point. And it's either you keep going. It's like a relationship. A band is like a relationship. If it's not going well, you kind of got to either go to therapy for it or you got to call it quits. And so I think that's where it was at. Like I said, our bass player, Tay, they are a touring member. And at that point, they had never really like toured outside of that band. And they were being given these opportunities with other projects. And it was like our band was at a place where we had just lost a few members to the pandemic, just other passions and such. And so there was 3 of us, and then Tay kind of realized their heart was more in the touring aspect than the writing and the, management of everything. And Donnie had actually auditioned who I'm in Honey Revenge with.
Right,
it's a
your
duo. It's
partner
me
in
and
this.
they play guitar, and they're like my musical partner in crime. They actually just dropped me off. Thanks for the ride, Donnie. But yeah, they were 18, fresh out of high school, and they were moving to LA for the first time. They didn't know anybody. And it's really crazy. We talk about this all the time because I'm the social one and Donnie is like so sweet and kind, but they're not one to like put themselves out there first most of the time.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because this whole thing started because they took a chance and messaged that old band on Instagram. They saw a video of us that was going around.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, just random, but I'm moving to LA. I don't know what the scene's like. I don't know if you know anybody looking for a guitarist. And we were.
Oh my gosh.
And
wow.
Exactly. It was like fate because they would never message someone first.
Right.
Like, ever. That's just out of character for them.
Wow.
But they took the chance, and we were in the process of auditioning people through video because it was obviously social distancing and whatever.
Right.
And they were just the smiliest person with the best energy. Like they didn't try and overplay the song. They played it exactly how we asked them to.
That's amazing.
And so they joined, and whether you look at it from a fortunate or unfortunate position, immediately they joined and everyone else quit and went on to do something else.
Oh my gosh.
And they went from just signing on to be, lead guitar to signing on to being the only other instrument. I don't play any instruments.
Yeah,
That's
it's just the 2 of you
It's
now.
just the 2 of us. So, it kind of just took off from there. We were already planning on changing the old band's name, so it wasn't like this crazy thing. But I was probably the most depressed I've ever been. I was like, oh, there's no hope. Like, lockdown, we're never going to play a show again. No one's going to care. I have no bandmates. I was so, like, I've never wanted to be a solo artist. Like, I know it probably somehow would be easier. All different lines of music and such have their own struggles for sure, but it's just never been for me. I love a collaboration. I love outsourcing ideas and just personalities. Like, it brings more to music in my opinion. And so
The holiday season is just around the corner, and I don't know about you, Bowie, but I know that I'm always looking for ways to spend and stress less. With HelloFresh, it makes mealtime nearly hassle-free with delicious, home-delivered, chef-crafted recipes that come together quick, and they're less expensive than takeout. And with these recipes, they're easily customizable, so you can make each meal the way you like it, and you can swap out proteins or even the side dishes. It's truly amazing. And with HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. So you skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. And that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. You get 10 free meals at HelloFresh.com/freebabesbeat. It's applied across 7 boxes and new subscribers only, varies by plan. But that's 10 free HelloFresh meals. Just go to HelloFresh.com/freebabesbeat. Once again, that's HelloFresh.com/freebabesbeat for 10 free meals.
we just kind of grew from there. We have this really awesome friend. His name's KJ, and he's an impeccable, talented writer. He was in a band called The White Noise, and that's how I knew him.
Okay.
And they were someone I grew up listening to, and we kind of just stayed friends from my being a fan. He was kind of like a mentor to me.
Nice.
And he was like, hit me up after a long time of not talking, was like, do you want to write some music? And that was kind of the birth of Honey Revenge. He was really there.
Wow.
We call him like the secret third member, you know?
Okay.
He's there. He's like an executive producer on a lot of our stuff. He really knows how to like channel our ideas and just like organize them and get them in a place where it makes sense. And
so it's literally you, Donnie, and then this other guy that do a lot of it.
Yeah, we write everything. We have like a lot of people that are really like just support. They're like part of the team, but it really is just me and Donnie, and then KJ helped give us our wings. You know, he just like breathed the life into it, and you know, he, I think, looks at us like his little siblings. Yeah, and he's just really like we couldn't have done it without him.
Right. But well, that's what I was curious about, because when you said Donnie had just auditioned to be guitarist, I was like, did they write? Was that their first time?
They'd never written for a band ever.
Oh my god! So this was now you two then started collabing and having started writing.
Yeah, it was a lot of like me sending voice memos like this, singing with a human metronome, and them writing guitar parts around a melody and lyrics.
Wow.
Like for years it was like that. And then KJ, I think they look up to KJ so much because he just saw the potential. Because Donnie, it was literally just like, if I just let Donnie do whatever they need to do guitar wise and I handle everything else in the beginning, I was like, they're gonna become so good. And truly I really think they're 22 years old and they're so good at guitar, and they've grown so much as a writer, and like I've grown so much just like on every other side of it. Like I've become way more open to writing in different ways and like breaking out of my comfort zone. So but yeah, it's been a crazy ride from a DM to this.
Yeah, that is wild. But I've seen videos of you guys, and they are an amazing guitarist. I've seen their energy on stage. I've seen your energy on stage, and it seems like you guys had been playing together since you were kids. Like, you know what I mean? It's like I could just feel, it looks like y'all have been together.
I think, it's just a genuine, like, we get each other. Like, the things that I'm not good at, they're good at, and the things that they don't want to do, I'll pick up the slack. Like, I don't trust anyone else to do it. I'm a little bit, again, a control freak, so it kind of works out. We have like this yin yang thing. We're very opposites personality wise.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Yeah, like I'm a social butterfly. They would love to never see another person again and lock themselves in their room and play guitar.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So then on stage, even if you're touring, it's just the two of you?
No, so that's where Tay, our lovely bass player, they come in.
Okay.
And they play bass, and then we have one of the best drummers. No one else is allowed to have him. His name is Matthew Arsenault, and we love him. Marty is what we call him.
Cool.
But he also, my old band, he was in a local band, and we played shows together, and we just knew each other. And when we got our first tour offer, I was like, well, who's going to play drums?
Yeah.
Because we had people coming in and out playing for Honey Revenge just for local shows, and both our rhythm section members had just moved to New York right when we got our first tour offer, and I was like, so anybody know a drummer? And I would never thought that he's so like dedicated to his band that I never thought to even ask him, because I was like, he's one of the best drummers I know, but he's like married to his bandmates, right? Pretty much, like he's not gonna leave those boys. But he has literally just like, he's a down ass bitch. I feel like that's the biggest thing about taking touring crew. Like they just have to be down, because to slum it, he like brings his little cot and sleeps on the floor of the hotel room. You know what I mean? Like he just doesn't care. He's just happy to be there.
That's sick.
So we're very, very lucky. I feel like we locked in a band and crew really early on, which doesn't happen often.
No, it's hard to find good people. Like you said, it's hard to find people that you want to spend that much time with too.
Yeah.
And that are down to do the thing and to hustle. Because like you said, I mean, someone that's down to sleep on the floor, you know, you gotta have people that are
gotta love it.
You gotta
share
have
a bed.
love that.
Not care that you're gonna share a bed and everyone's gonna be cranky. Like he's just like everyone, all of us get so moody, and he's just some guy, but in the best way, because everyone else is just not some guy. Yeah. But yeah, we have like, it's him, Tay, and then our merch manager, Em. She does not play in the band, but she is our like backbone. She does everything. She had never toured before with us either, and we've done 9 tours in less than 2 years.
That's a lot. Like you guys have been just touring so much.
It was all I ever wanted. It was when I was super depressed when this band was starting. I was like, I just want to tour. I just want to tour so bad, but no one's ever gonna. Why would anyone ever? We don't have anything going on for us yet. You know, we were at that point nobody, because we had no music out. Like that wasn't our fault. But 100%.
But then it just started. So you guys have an agent. Yes. Who are you booked by?
Jason Parent. He's at Sound, I believe now.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been with us. He also took a chance. Everyone like just took a chance on us. Like I still to this day I'm like, why do they do that? You know what I mean? Like when you're that small and you don't have any fans, like people see potential in you, and that's like truly the sentiment I think of this band is just that like people took a chance and they believed in us.
Well, and because you're signed to Thriller?
Thriller, yeah. So Thriller signed us after like one song released, and we had one song online. Like I was working 3 jobs to support this project, and it was one of those things where obviously like I don't necessarily recommend to any small band to sign right off the bat. I don't know if you can attest to that. Like, it's a risky thing.
It is.
Especially when you don't know what's going to happen with your project. But they've been so supportive, and I am so thankful for them.
Yeah.
Like, they, again, took a chance on us. Like, why would they sign us? We had one song out, wasn't doing anything crazy. Like, no one knew who we were. We just had a couple videos up on TikTok that were doing okay, but like not viral standards by any means. But I think they just saw that I was willing to bust my ass. Yeah. And I think that's like, I was just at a point where I was like, oh, I will literally put myself in debt for this project, so it would really, really be nice to have some help.
And I was gonna say that is, as like, you know, indie projects, of course everyone has like, oh, should you sign or should you not sign? But when it really is like you're just starting out, and it's nice to have kind of a bank account. It's kind of nice
just
to have
direction, someone there, cushion,
a cushion, because otherwise like you'd be spending all your own money still to be doing this if you don't have the label.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, and like you don't make money for so long in music. It takes so long.
It takes a long time.
I've been like, I'm a good budgeter. I've been living on my own, paying rent since I was 17. So I've just always been accustomed to kind of being independent like that. But I mean, I would never blame anybody for being otherwise.
Yeah.
Like, it's truly like just all the jobs I was doing for my old band. I don't know how I had that much stamina, because I was going to school, working a job, trying to make this band happen, trying to write, trying to rehearse. And now I'm just like so thankful I have a manager who's like really there for us, and an agent, like people that are willing to do everything I can't, because I don't even feel like I'm doing enough most of the time, so it's nice to have people there.
Oh, 100%.
So the label coming on, that you really felt the difference straight away, or was it more of a gradual
It's just
process?
nice to feel like validated, I guess, is the thing. Like, when you're that small, it's like you're doing all this work for kind of cricket noises, you know? And I think Thriller, we got really, like, truly a lot of this is just luck and being liked. But Bob Becker started Fearless Records back in the day.
That was what my band was on.
Right.
Oh, I didn't even realize
we were Fearless. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know Bob.
I know Bob. Yeah.
Oh, Bob. I call him Babs.
Babs. Like that.
But he, started Fearless is like, they were like the label, I feel like, when I was coming up, when I was going to shows, you know? So to have someone be running an independent, smaller label, but have the experience and career that Bob did, we just got, again, like, people are like, who's Thriller? I'm like, you just wait. And like, already, like, they've signed some of my favorite bands. Like, they got the Home Team now.
Yep.
They got Rain City Drive. It's just like, they even got Diva Bleach, who you met
right. Yeah.
on In Vogue, which is our sister label.
Yeah.
So I think they're just like good. They care about small bands. I think that's like, they're not just in it for who is the biggest thing, because I feel like when that starts to come into play, it's easy for bands to get pushed to the side a little bit, because it's like they're focusing on their big project and their priority. But I really genuinely see that they care, and they want to spread the love around and spread the attention around to all their bands.
Could not agree more.
Yeah.
Could not agree more. So for obviously we've got that show coming up together. That's the next thing. But what else do you guys have this year that you can talk about?
We're just trying to lock in and write this next record.
Okay.
Even when we signed with Thriller, it was like, oh, let's just do an EP, see what happens. And then we got in the studio and the EP turned into an album. And if we hadn't done an album, we would have been so screwed, because immediately have been touring nonstop.
Yeah. Oh, no time then.
Almost 2 years. Like, it feels like it's been so much longer, but it hasn't even been 2 years.
Wow.
We've been to Europe 3 times in the last 12 months.
Whoa.
Wow.
Less than 12 months. From December to now, we've been there 3 times.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's crazy, very lucky, very tired. So I think this period of time, we have one show in December with Beach Bunny, which is gonna be really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where's that at?
That's in Chicago, at Talia Hall. I've never played there. I'm excited.
I've never heard of that.
But yeah, they're doing this new festival called Pool Party.
Okay.
And I think they did it last year, and this is like On Ice, the winter version.
Oh, cool.
And it's us and a bunch of really cool artists. And then day 2, Ali and AJ is headlining.
What?
I know.
Oh my
I'm
God.
so excited. I got my flights booked so I can stay and watch them the second day.
Yes.
But so those are our only shows for the rest of the year.
Okay.
It's November, December. It feels crazy to just have that on the calendar, and really nothing else in the States until like next spring, summer. We don't even have anything solidified.
Wow.
Which is like nerve-wracking, but we can't keep touring on Retrovision as much as that album is like our little baby. And it's like you can only play the same 12, 15 songs
right.
so many times before people are like, not going to come see us anymore. Also, they've seen us so many times. We've been everywhere a
Like,
bajillion
guys,
times. They're like, why would you keep coming to see us? Like, I'm gonna give them a break and give them a chance to miss us. You know what I mean?
Well, with that being said, though, this is the last time everyone, again, in LA and in Chicago.
Yeah.
These are the last times you're going to see. You heard it here, Honey Revenge this year. So
yeah, this is our like end of the Retrovision era. So if you want to like close it out, it's gonna be pretty bittersweet. But yeah, I think just lock in, really learn to be a human being in society again. I always say reacclimate after tour.
Oh my God.
Like,
yeah, I get
just
that.
I've forgotten how to have interests outside of music.
Right.
It's really
Like, what do you do with your days when you're not like on tour? It's like you just have like so much structure and there's so much happening at all times and you're stimulated at all times. Then you get home and you're like, wait, what do I do again?
Yeah.
Like, I literally was like, I don't.
you miss it. You miss being home so much at tour, like on tour, and then you get home and you're like, I feel useless. I feel like I'm not doing anything towards my career, and it's crazy. No one warns you how like once you make your passion your career, how it is so crazy to like have identity outside of it. Like, I love to read, but it's like I can't just read all day. Like, I need to find things to do, because my thing was growing up, I only had a job so I could pay for concert tickets, going to shows, watching band interviews, learning everything about these people for no reason other than I was just hyper fixated and loved them so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy. This is really, we're just like, we have to write an album. And so I have to fall back in love with writing again. I think I've scared myself into this.
You might be like intimidating yourself.
Oh, it's purely my brain. Like, it's the sophomore slump is in my head, and just feeling like there was no one paying attention. We wrote the last album. We had like 4+ years of music just in the backlog when we did Retrovision. Like, and now it's like so many more eyes are on us.
So feeling like the pressure.
The pressure is on, and it's like now I've quit my job. This is my job.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else like to keep me afloat except this band.
You're gonna get in the groove.
Yeah,
Once
you
you
get in
start
the
writing,
zone.
the second that it's like you just got to get that first. You know what I mean? It's like you just get in the zone once you. But it is that initial. I know it's like
intimidating. It's scary. I feel like it's such a different muscle to work, the creative muscle versus the performing muscle and the touring muscle. And like tour is just purely survival. Like, what is going to get me through each day to day? What is going to keep me from exploding? And starving and stinking. And then you come home and you have AC and a shower and food every day and home cooked meals, and you're like, oh, like I have to be creative again. And like, you haven't even really been a person enough to like I write little lyrics here and there, but we've been in so many sessions out of like tour the last year and a half. Like we have songs, but they're all from such different time periods and such different emotions, and so much has happened to all of us since this beautiful chaotic journey started with Honey Revenge, that now it's kind of like, so what do I even talk about? You know, there's so much, and like I don't even know how to put it all into words.
Well, I can't wait, and I know it's going to be amazing. So
I know, I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I hope everybody likes it.
You've got this. You're going to kill it. You're going to kill it. Everyone's going to love it. I know it's going to be great. So, but again, for everyone, last 2 shows, you better come out.
November
for it, okay?
16th,
November 16th, Somerset, and Honey Revenge will be at Catch One in LA. So, all right. Well, thank you for doing this,
dude. Honored. Thank you for having me. It's so fun.
I'm so.
I love to yap.
This was great. I mean, it's so great to hear everyone's stories, and you have such a great, everyone has unique stories. So
Anytime.
Love it. We'll do this again some other time.
Yes, that'd be so fun when we have like something to talk about.
Maybe the new album.
Ooh, hopefully, or the disbanding of
Yeah, you'll be like about that album.
I come back buzzed head, just like different personality.
No, opera singer.
Yeah.
The war changed me.
Awesome. Well, for everyone who might not already be following you, do you want to give your social media of you and the band so that everyone can follow you?
Yeah, so I'm Devin Papadol on everything. That's DEVIN PAPADOL. I had to do that today on Instagram. Someone asked how to pronounce my last name. I was like, oh yeah, that actually makes sense.
Papadol.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
It looks so much more complicated than it is.
Okay.
Devin Papadol on everything, but most importantly, please follow Honey Revenge. It's just Honey Revenge CA on everything. We got Discord, we got TikTok, we got Twitter, we got Facebook, we got Instagram, we got Depop. We sell our show clothes. Please buy them so I can.
And running it all.
Yeah, and it's all me. So if you want to send me a message, maybe I'll be bored and I'll respond.
There you go. She is home now, so
I got nothing going on. Slide into the DMs, tell me a joke or something.
Time to procrastinate.
Yeah. Time to do nothing and everything.
Yeah.
All at once.
Oh my God, amazing. All right, everyone, go follow Honey Revenge and Devin. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you so much. Bye.